Hi, this is Jane with Green Biz. Today we are going to be talking about a great summer plant down here in the south. It's called a Crape Myrtle. I've got some right behind me. They are hardy in zones 7 through 10. So when I lived up in Minnesota, couldn't grow them up there. But they do great down here. The nice thing about Crape Myrtles is that they gives you this great summer color all through the summer. Whereas a lot of your plants, you know, they have the spring flower and then they're gone and they're just green. No, this actually gives you flowers in the summertime. So we're going to talk a little bit about summer care for your Crape Myrtles. One of the nice things about Crape Myrtles is that they come in such a wide array of colors. You can get your white, you can get your pinks in various shades. I've got a purple here. They also come in red, they come in green leaf, and they also come in a red leaf. This is a wide variety of colors that you can choose from, and certainly you're going to be able to find one that will fit perfectly in your landscape. One of the very nice things about Crape Myrtles is that you have at least a 2 to 3 month bloom time on them. They start blooming, early summer, probably the end of June, all through July, all through August. They kind of taper off in September. But still, that's a long time with flowers on your plant. There is a way to make them last even longer. They will start off with a bud, they will go to the flower, and then as that flower dies off, you will have what's called a seed pod. If you clip off that seed pod, it will help to stimulate them to get some more flowers. And so it's a way that you can extend your bloom time. The other thing with cutting off that seed pod is it kind of just cleans up the plant, it makes it look nice, and it's an easy way to do a little trim on your plant. This is a bud on your Crape Myrtle. See how little and round they are? Your buds will turn into the flowers. As your flowers finish, it will then go to a seed pod. You can see on this plant, that's the flower that hasn't bloomed yet. This is one that's done. You can see a difference in color and you can see a difference in size. When your flowers are mostly done, and you have just seed pods left, take your clippers, just go out, give it a snip. You've now got your empty stem and you can make new flowers for you. I cut just a little bit below where those seed pods are. There's something else you need to know about the care of your Crape Myrtle. When you are mowing your grass, or somebody else is, or weed whacking, don't get too close to the trunk of the tree, to the bark of the tree. The bark on this kind of a tree is very thin, almost kind of like your skin. And if you get too close with your mower, you can damage that bark. When you damage the bark, what it is providing an entry point for disease or for bugs to get into your tree. So be very careful around your Crape Myrtles. Another thing about the bark, and something that people really like about these trees, is that they will shed their bark. They shed so it looks almost like cinnamon sticks. That is normal. Don't be concerned that your Crape Myrtle is shedding its skin. It's supposed to do that. I suppose you could say it's like a snake. Crape Myrtles are a great plant, but you know, every plant, well, it has its downsides too. The only thing here with the Crape Myrtles is that they have suckers. Suckers are growth, extra Crape Myrtle, I guess you would say, that comes up around the plant that you really want. Now, if you leave those, they will eventually grow up and be a big plant. But say like this one, this is a single stem Crape Myrtle. I don't want a whole bunch of other stuff coming up because then pretty soon it's not going to look like a single stem, it's going to look like a multi-stem. So, what you need to do every season, and probably a few times throughout the season, is just trim off those suckers. And that's what we're going to do. Now I will tell you, the sooner you get them trimmed, like when they're babies, the better. If you let them grow too much, then you actually can do some damage to the plant. If you cut them during the summer, that is exposing them to more disease and to insects. So, watch what we're going to do. Okay, so what I'm going to do with my clippers is just literally clip all this stuff out. You might notice there's a few little weeds in here. It's summertime and you know how it is, much as you try to keep on top of those weeds, sometimes they get the best of you. So what I'm going to do here is just go around this tree, clip all this stuff out. Got a little batch left to do here. Now you have to also be careful. I've done this before and then gotten fire ant bites, so you may want to test your waters before you go digging in there too deep. All right, so now you just get this cleaned up a little bit. You know, you just finish it. And again, you have your single stem tree and you don't have to worry about that. You're not going to have to clip this every single week, but it will be more than one time through the summer, just depending on how your plant is growing. This little tree had some issues and it's been treated, but I'm going to show you what those issues are because it is things that could happen to your tree. First of all, it got eaten by some Japanese beetles. Japanese beetles are out for about a month where they're busy chewing, and they like crepe myrtles. Another thing that this tree had was some aphids. They have been treated, this tree has been treated with an insecticide, so the aphids are gone, the Japanese beetles are gone. It also had a scale that is also treated with that insecticide. The Japanese beetles have done damage to especially that leaf. You have kind of that lacy look to your leaf. That indicates Japanese beetles. Sometimes you'll see them. They're difficult to get rid of, but like I said, they're only around for about a month. And they do damage. If you have a healthy tree, they're not going to ruin the tree, but it makes it kind of unsightly. See that little white dot? That is scale. It is actually a type of insect, and as I said, it has been treated. I can, well, kind of pick it off. It turns red there. That's the bug underneath. Scale is common down here. It has to do with our weather or humidity, but it is treatable. These leaves are showing sooty mold. Now I can't show you the little aphids because I don't have any on here right now. They're dead. But this is what happens when you have aphids. They have a secretion and it is sticky. And so because it is sticky on the leaves, dirt will stick to it and it will cause this layer to be on your leaf. The sooty mold itself is not the problem. It is the bugs that create it. So if you get rid of the bugs, then you will also eliminate that sooty mold. As your leaves fall off, of course, that goes away. And I will tell you that in the fall, make sure that you rake everything up so you have a clean base. You don't want to leave any of this kind of stuff sitting around your tree. It not only is unsightly, but it can promote further problems later on. So I talked to you about that these trees had been treated with an insecticide. There's a couple forms of insecticide you can use. One you can use, it's like a topical, you spray it, it will take care of the bugs for a period of time, then you will have to spray again. These trees have actually been treated with a systemic insecticide. That is an insecticide that is put into the soil. Every time it rains or you water, it is taken up into the plant, and so any insects that are on that plant or eating on that plant will be killed over time. The problem with that kind of an insecticide is that it can also kill the good insects, like the bees. So you have to kind of weigh your options and decide what's best for you. I hope that you have gained some knowledge about crepe myrtles through this video. If you have a question for me, please leave a comment in the comment section of this video. This is Jane wishing you a very happy summer.